Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Erica. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Now, once upon a time, if you wanted to see the news, you would have to go to a picture theatre. Now, most picture theatres in the early to mid 20th century would have shown newsreels as a part of their entertainment package or prior to the main feature, but they would have just been a small detail that you would have seen, or it would have been a compilation of the last week or last month's news. So you can understand that in a time of war, the population actually really wanted to know more. They wanted to see more detail. They actually wanted to see the newsreel in full. So this is where newsreel cinemas came about. Now, in 1941, on September the 26th, in Rundle Street at 43 to 45 Rundle Street, the Savoy News-Luxe Theatre opened. Now, this was an excellent position, to be honest. It was across the road from two of the largest department stores, Charles Burke & Co. and Myers. So that meant that the cinema was well placed to actually grab the passing city shopper who was looking to take a break and rest their weary feet and sit down and watch newsreel for a little while. As I've mentioned previously, the position of a picture theatre is so key to their success. As I said, the Savoy News-Luxe was across the road from two major department stores in Adelaide at the time. And it's really important that the customer can easily reach a cinema. So CBD cinemas such as the Savoy News-Luxe would rely on passing foot traffic. Most visitors to the city at the time would have actually travelled into the city on public transport. Wasn't until there was a greater uptake of vehicle ownership in the 1950s that would change. Now, suburban cinemas, of course, would typically be near a tram or bus stop or a train station. The Savoy News-Luxe had seating for around 310 patrons, so it wasn't a huge cinema. It was open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day, and each session would last approximately 70 minutes, and there was a change of program every Friday. So the Savoy was really keen to let its future audience know that it wasn't just going to be newsreels from the front that they would see in their theatre. As important as they were, they also knew that people also wanted to see things such as fashion shows. So here is a place that you could see these. I mean, it's probably the only place in Adelaide you'd be able to see them, to be honest. So this article, which is dated the 5th of May 1941, gives prior notice. I mean, this was actually about 5 months before the theatre itself would open. But it's saying that already they're receiving, appreciation from dressmakers, fashion leaders, and store executives that they're going to show these fashion shows from places such as London or Hollywood. So here we have a wonderful photo of the box office and entrance to the Savoy News-Luxe in Rundle Street. Now, as we can tell, this entrance is very efficient, is the only word I can really think to describe it. There's nothing ornate here, nothing luxurious. We're given white tiled walls, which would be very easy to keep clean. We're given terrazzo floor, again easy to keep clean. Savoy embellished on it is probably the only bit of ornateness that I can think of. This would have obviously stood in contrast to the picture palaces of the era with their luxurious entrances of marble and luxury carpeting. Now, John Adey recalls a rather clean but heady smell of disinfectant wafting across the footpath as you pass the box office. I think you can actually even smell it just looking at this photo, to be honest. He also recalls that people would actually gather out the front in order to feel the coolness of the air conditioning, especially on hot summer days in Adelaide. Now, the Savoy Theatre itself occupied the ground floor of the building. In the picture here, you can actually see behind the box office, there is a staircase, and that leads up to the first floor, second floor, etc., etc. The windows, which are above the door, that's actually the bio box. And actually, 80 says that he remembers that sometimes on hot days, you could actually, those windows would be open, obviously for the air, and you could actually hear the projectionist talking or the whirl of the projector as you pass by. So whilst the entrance seems all austere and all business and or clinical, the exterior lighting was anything but. Addy tells us that by night the front of the building was a blaze of neon lights with stars bursting from two large signs, News-Luxe, on either side of the Savoy Tower neon. An animated neon globe of the world was set at the highest pinnacle, and we can see that here. And unfortunately, I don't have a photo of it at night. So this interior shot of the Savoy News-Luxe Theatre shows us that the sort of clinical, efficient design from the front also went into the interior. Now, the Savoy News-Luxe had the latest sound equipment installed from Western Electric, and the patron was advised that they could expect comfort with modern seating and furnishings to be found within the cinema itself. The architect engaged to design this building was Chris A. Smith, a very familiar name within Australian cinema architecture at the time, and certainly to historians today. And in the 1950s, the Savoy actually did face some competition from the opening of a short-lived Liberty Newsreel theatre. But in September 1959, television arrived into Adelaide, and in 1959, as a way to, I suppose, to try and improve audience numbers, CinemaScope was installed into the Savoy. But the writing was on the wall, really. The Savoy News-Luxe Theatre, as it was called by the locals, the Savoy, unfortunately closed in February 26, 1961. So thank you for your time today. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. I would expect to do another one probably early next year, probably mid-January maybe. My blog, the address is here. I've actually got a new blog written up. I'm just waiting on a couple of approvals, etc. on that one before I post that one up. And that should be hopefully going up, in the next, well, hopefully by the end of this week, which would be around the 12th of December. In the meantime, if you've enjoyed this, please like and maybe, consider subscribing because, as I said, I will be doing more of these. My blog, there are a lot more cinemas on my blog that I've not written about, and I probably won't. So I've not vlogged about, and I probably won't vlog about. So, if you're interested in learning more, please, subscribe to my blog as well. We'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.